Hello, my name is Willoughby, and I'd like to share with you an update of what's happening in the city of Fort Worth here, where we live. I've been involved for over 13 years, and fortunately, if I hadn't been involved so long, I wouldn't have seen the changes. A lot of people that go to the council now thinks that that's the way it is, and it's not that way. It has been gutted by Mayor Parker completely, and we need to put it back to square one. It is so important right now to push our council and mayor to put our schedule back and do away with what they call the new schedule here. This one says, know your schedule, and that's the problem. They didn't ask us. When they put this in back in 21, I asked Crane and Jarrett Williams before this was put on the agenda. I knew they were working on a new agenda. When I asked them, I said, put it out on social media, put it out to the public, and get the public's opinion too on this new schedule, because Crane seemed real happy about it, whatever, trying to make me happy about it or something. But nevertheless, they didn't do that. This came out and it says, know the schedule. Well, I don't want the people to tell me to know the schedule. I want them to, well, one thing is we had no problem with the schedule, with the agenda before they got in there. But nevertheless, this is where the problem lies. When the city says their leadership, and these people sitting up there ought to be ashamed of themselves. Our council members and mayor, they should be ashamed of themselves. My council member, Deborah Peoples, should be ashamed of herself, because they never done their civic duty. Anybody that's not doing their civic duty should be ashamed of themselves, because that's why we're in such a mess. But also, we're not taught to do our civic duty, so you can't put all the blame there. But before you run for office, you ought to at least do some of your civic duty. You ought to go to a council meeting, a budget meeting, bond meeting. You ought to learn something about it. And they don't. There were people just sat back and wait for election time, and it was placed in office with a crooked election. And that's how she's in there. She's never been to a bond meeting. She doesn't know what the old schedule was. She hadn't been involved. So fortunately, it's paid off for me to be involved as long as I've been involved and gone to many council meetings I've gone to. And what Mattie's done is just really ripped the city apart. And like I said, we need to put it back like it was, our council agenda back like it was before Mattie Parker. That's it, put it back. And then, if we want to change it with the people. And one of the things we need to change is that calling them leadership. They can't be leadership. They don't even know what they're doing to be leadership. So I don't like that. I'd like to change it to partnership, because it's our money, it's our city, and we're a part of it. There should be partnership. That's what it should be. And they should work with us, because a million heads are better than one. But they don't. They want to separate people. And let me tell you, this is what we're all going to be wearing in the near future if we don't wake up and take responsibility for what's going on in our local government. Because right now, we are prisoners to our local government. Actually, they don't ask us, they tell us what we do and what we can't do.